Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
WWE Raw General Manager reflected on being attacked by Brock Lesnar 4 years ago today on social media. Lesnar returned to action last month and picked up an impressive victory at WrestlePalooza. Brock Lesnar brutally attacked Adam Pearce on the October 22, 2021 edition of WWE SmackDown. The Beast Incarnate planted Pearce with an F5, and the authority figure tore his pants during the move. Pearce took to social media to react to a video of the attack, and hilariously claimed that it was not the F5 that tore his pants. You can check out the former NWA star's message in the post below. Brock Lesnar went on hiatus from the company for 2 years following his loss to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam 2023. He returned at SummerSlam earlier this year to attack John Cena following his loss to The American Nightmare. Lesnar demolished Cena in a singles match at WrestlePalooza last month and has not been in action since. Cena picked up a victory over AJ Styles earlier this month at WWE Crown Jewel 2025. Bill Apter reacts to WWE's booking of Brock Lesnar. Legendary wrestling journalist Bill Apter recently shared his thoughts on Brock Lesnar squashing John Cena at WWE WrestlePalooza 2025 last month in Indianapolis, Indiana. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Unscripted show, Apter claimed that the company made the right call by having Lesnar defeat Cena with ease. He noted that wrestling fans had not seen the 48-year-old in a while, and it was the correct decision to book him as a monster upon his return to the ring. This is the way it should be. You know, so many people are going, why did they do that? I think it was the right move. You can't bring Brock Lesnar back and lessen that mega monster. I think they did the right thing. I am going to say that out loud, he said. Adam Pearce got into a heated confrontation with the Vision to Open this past Monday's episode of WWE Raw. Braun Breaker forced Pearce to say please before giving him the World Heavyweight Championship. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed betrayed Seth Rollins last week, and he was forced to relinquish the title due to injury. Pearce informed Paul Heyman in a backstage conversation on Raw that Breaker and Reed would not be allowed into the Battle Royal due to their actions. Jey Uso won the Battle Royal and will be facing CM Punk for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event on November 1, in one of WWE's most shocking and unforgettable moments. Adam Pearce, the calm, composed on-screen WWE official, was brutally assaulted by Brock Lesnar on an October 2021 episode of SmackDown. The devastating attack left Pearce laid out, his suit torn and his pride seemingly shattered before millions of viewers. Now, years later, Pearce is finally opening up about that night, revealing the emotions, pain, and behind-the-scenes chaos that made it one of the most infamous segments in his career. The calm before the storm at Dom Pearce has long been known as WWE's steady hand of authority, man who walks the fine line between management and mayhem. But nothing could have prepared him for what unfolded when Brock Lesnar, furious over being suspended for attacking Roman Reigns and others, decided to take out his frustrations on the messenger. In a candid interview for WWE's The Bump, Pearce revisited that night with a mix of humility and disbelief. I knew Brock was angry. Everyone could see it in his eyes, Pearce recalled. When the cameras started rolling, I just had to stand there and hope he didn't turn that rage toward me. But when you're the one delivering bad news to Brock Lesnar, you can only expect one-out command. It's not a handshake. What was meant to be a scripted suspension announcement quickly escalated into one of WWE's most violent moments of the year. Lesnar didn't just intimidate Pearce, he destroyed him, lifting the WWE official onto his massive shoulders before delivering two brutal F5 South in the middle of the ring. I couldn't breathe after the first F5. Pearce revealed just how real the physical toll was after the attack. People forget that I used to wrestle. But that doesn't mean I'm built to take a beating like that anymore, he admitted. After the first F5, I couldn't breathe. The air was knocked out of me completely. And then he picked me up again. I remember thinking, this is it. The second F5 left Pearce momentarily disoriented. He said it wasn't until later that night, backstage, that the seriousness of what had happened truly hit him. When I got to the trainer's room, everything hurt. My ribs, my neck, even my jaw. And the boys came up to me one by one, checking if I was okay. Brock doesn't play around. What you see out there is very close to reality. The real Brock Lesnar, despite the brutal nature of the attack. Pearce surprisingly had nothing but respect for the beast incarnate. Brock Lesnar is a force of nature. He's not someone who does anything halfway, Pearce said. When he's in the ring, it's 100% intensity. You can't fake that. I don't hold anything against him. It's part of the business, part of the story. But that night, I definitely felt the real Brock Lesnar. Pearce went on to describe Lesnar as surprisingly professional once the cameras stopped rolling. When we went backstage, he actually asked if I was okay. That's Brock. He's intimidating, but he respects the people he works with. He's just Brock Lesnar. There's nobody like him. Backstage reaction. Shock, fear, and respect. The WWE locker room was reportedly in awe of how intense the segment became. Several superstars, including Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, were said to have praised Pearce for his composure. Paul Heyman told me afterward that I handled it like a pro. Pearce shared with a chuckle, which, coming from Paul, means a lot. He's seen Brock up close for decades. He knows exactly what it feels like to be in that blast zone. Even WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, who was still overseeing creative direction at the time, reportedly congratulated Pearce for making the segment feel real. Vince called me later that night and said, "That was TV gold," I told him. "Yeah, easy for you to say you didn't take the F5S. Pearce laughed. The segment trended worldwide, generating millions of views across YouTube and social media. Fans were stunned by how convincingly Pearce sold the attack, with many calling it one of the most believable moments of the year. Long-term impact on Pearce's WWE role in the aftermath of the incident. Adam Pearce's character took a noticeable turn. Once seen as a neutral authority figure, he began displaying more assertiveness, standing up to wrestlers like Ronda Rousey, Drew McIntyre, and even Roman Reigns himself. That night changed not just in storyline, but personally, Pearce admitted. When you get thrown around by Brock Lesnar on live TV, you realize you have two choices: fade into the background or step up. I chose to step up. It also cemented Pearce's on-screen presence as a vital part of WWE programming. What began as a behind-the-scenes producer role evolved into a full-fledged character arc, with Pearce becoming one of the most recognizable non-wrestlers in the company. Fans started recognizing me everywhere after that. People would shout, "Hey, don't let Brock near you again." It became part of my identity in WWE, and honestly, I'm proud of it. Would he ever step into the ring again? When asked if the incident reignited his desire to wrestle again, Pearce smiled but didn't give a definitive answer. "Never say never," he teased. "I've still got a little left in the tank. If there's ever a day when I need to defend myself in that ring again, I'll be ready. But I also know my role now, and I respect that." Fans have long speculated about the possibility of Pearce lacing up his boots for one more match. Perhaps in a storyline payoff against a major heel, or even as part of a tag team moment. Pearce hasn't ruled it out. But he insists that his focus remains on making WWE television as engaging as possible. "My job now is to help others tell their stories." I love that. But if the right story comes along, if the right challenge presents itself, be there. A lesson in professionalism reflecting on the infamous Brock Lesnar attack. Pearce said it taught him valuable lessons about humility, storytelling, and the unpredictability of professional wrestling. That night reminded me why WWE is the best at what it does. You can plan everything down to the last detail, but once the red light comes on, anything can happen. And that's the beauty of it. He also offered advice to younger stars and WWE staff who might find themselves in high-pressure situations. Always respect the moment. Whether you're in the ring with Brock Lesnar or backstage producing a segment, give it your all. Because fans can tell when it's real, and that's what they remember. 3 years later, the Brock Lesnar-Adam Pearce confrontation remains one of the most replayed moments in WWE's modern era. It symbolized the unpredictable nature of wrestling and highlighted how even non-wrestlers could become part of a defining story. People still send me clips of that night, said with a grin. I'll be sitting at home and someone tags me in an edit with dramatic music or slow motion. It's crazy. But if that's how I'm remembered, a guy who stood his ground in front of Brock Lesnar, I'll take it. As for Lesnar himself, Pearce holds no grudge. Brock did what Brock does, he said simply. And I'm still here to talk about it. That's a win in my book. In the end, Adam Pearce's reflection serves as both a reminder and a testament to the spirit of WWE, the fusion of performance, unpredictability, and real emotion. The night Brock Lesnar attacked him might have been terrifying, but it also made Pearce a symbol of resilience. I thought my career was over that night, he said softly. But in a weird way, it was just beginning.